1974 presents Duck in the New Engine. There are many tank engines who live on the island of Sodor. They are small, large, and really useful, and none that work harder than Duck the Great Western engine. He often loves working near the yards and helping out his friends whenever they need it. However, though, many of the engines do agree that Duck can be a little annoying. Alright, Oliver, your tankers are ready. Just make sure to pull them nice and easy, and make sure to do it the Great Western Duck. Please do not finish that sentence. We get it, you're Great Western. We all get it. Now, if you excuse me, I have tankers to take away. Not doing the Great Western way. Oh, shut up. Oh, what a tosser. Later that day, though, Duck was shunting a long train of trucks for James. Then, one of the yardmasters came up. Oi, Duck, there's going to be a new engine that's going to be coming to the railway later. The Topham Hatt wants you to show him around. Yes, sir. Hello, Duck. Hello, Henry. But first, let me get this train put away. Later, Duck was waiting for the new engine when Edward pulled in. He was bringing in some empty wagons. Hello there, Duck. Oh, hello there, Edward. What are you up to? Just waiting for a new engine that Sir Topham Hatt brought on trial. I heard he's a steam engine. Well, that's nice. Yes, but I am a little worried. Apparently, he said he's fully industrial. He's never worked as a shunt. Well, I mean, he knows how to shunt, but he's never shunted, coaches and that. So that raises a bit of concern with me. Well, I'm sure you'll be able to teach them well, Duck. Just like how I taught you when you first arrived with sometime stuff. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm afraid I can't stay for long. I have to deliver these trucks down to the coal mines. See you later, Duck. See you later, Edward. As Edward departed... Oh, that must be him now. Well, hello there. What's your name? Smokey Joe. Can't you read my side tanks? Oh, sorry. It's just, I've never seen an engine like you before. Oh god, you're one of those engines. Excuse me? The lettering on your side tank. You're from the GWR, the Great Western region. I used to be, but now I'm owned by Sodor. That's why I have the number 8 on my side tank. I see you also have a number. I assumed you worked for British Railways? Well, duh, where else would have I worked? There's no need to get snappy, I was just asking. It's because since when I heard from Sir Topham Hatt, you were industrial, so I assumed you were privately owned. Yes, I was partly privately owned, but I was also partly owned by British Rails. So this meant was I'd be painted into their color scheme. The only thing they allowed me to keep was my name, Smokey Joe. Just... whatever, I got work to do. See you later, Quacker. Quacker? Oh, how dare he. Smokey Joe was then brought on to help work on the railway. However, though, Duck noticed an issue. He was a speedster. What's wrong, old-timer? Slow down! However, Smokey Joe would never listen, and continued rushing down the line at extreme speeds. However, one day, though, Duck was preparing a heavy goods train for Henry. Then, Smoky Joe came thundering in. Well, it seems I beat my best. I wonder if I could even beat Gordon's speed record. If you tried beating Gordon's speed record, you would fall to pieces. You know I can handle myself, thank you. I don't need help from someone who waddles. For the last time, I don't waddle anymore. I just prefer being called Duck. Whatever. Who's this train for, anyway? This is for Henry. He's due to take it to the harbor today. The harbor? Oi! What's the matter, sir? Henry's broken down. The turntable is stuck and he can't move. Somebody help me! We're gonna have to get a new other engine. Can you do it, Duck? I would try to, but I have another train to take in an hour. Damn it. What about you, Smoky Joe? I would be delighted to. Great. Get hooked up to the train because it's due to depart any minute. I will. And soon the yardmaster walked away. Duck was concerned. Smoky Joe, I will warn you about this. You need to be careful with this train. This train is much heavier than the ones you've taken before. Oh, stop your worrying. I'll be fine. I pulled heavier than this back when I was an industrial engine. Do you not know how many coal trains I was asked to pull around my colliery? No, but exactly. Now waddle along and then let me get hooked up to my train. Fine then, but don't say I didn't warn you. And Duck puffed angrily away. And Smoky Joe went to go get ready for his train. Later, Duck was ready with his passenger train, and was just waiting for the signalman's permission to set off. But Smoky Joe was also ready. Ow! There's no need to bump that hard! Man, you need to chill. Smoky Joe, I'm telling you for the last time, you need to be careful. This train is much heavier and could cause you into an accident. This was the last straw for Smoky Joe. His patience had run out. I wish you would just shut up, you dumb quacker. I beg your pardon, you heard me. Stop telling me what to do. I know what I'm doing. I've worked industrial before. I've handled cars before. I know how to handle them. Like you would know anything. All you great Westerners ever cared about was that stupid speed record City of Churros set up. And here's a hint. Flying Scotsman beat that record. City Churro didn't do shit. That is very vulgar of you, Smoky Joe. Whatever. Now, if you excuse... Now, I don't want to take any more advice from you, you great Western git. Fine, then. But don't come crying to me when you're stuck in a lake or something. And Duck puffed away. Smoky Joe was more furious than ever. Me get into an accident? Pah! You're just delusional, you great Western git. I'll show him. I'll show him. And soon he puffed off. Meanwhile, Douglas was puffing down the line, pulling up a commuter train. What a lovely... Out of my way, slow coach! Oi! There's no need to be going that fast! But he didn't listen. Some wee engines never learn, do they? And Douglas puffed away. Meanwhile, James was waiting on his signal, ready to head off to the foundry. Doesn't my paintwork look splendid? When... Out of my way! Soot flew all over James. Ow! Mind my paintwork! Smoky Joe didn't care. He stormed down the line at speeds he had never gone at before, trying to get to his destination ahead of schedule. Suddenly, Smoky Joe was horrified. The curb ahead was too tight for him to make past, and would have ended up him right into the lake. He applied his brakes, but it was too late. When the dust settled, everything was a disaster. All of his trucks had some of the front of his trucks landed right into the lake, and Smokey Joe himself laid half on the land and half in the lake, feeling very, very depressed. Later, Thomas then arrived with the breakdown crane. And on board his cab was Sir Topham Hatt. Smokey Joe, I cannot believe your behavior these past couple of days. Not only have you been rude to Duck and my other engines, you have been going at incredibly reckless speeds. Now what would have happened if you were pulling a passenger train? I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Well, you should be, because once you're pulled out, you will spend the rest of your time in the sheds for the next 2 weeks until I can trust you again. Yes, sir. Smokey Joe was soon hauled out of the lake. He had bushes stuck to his front and rocks and pebbles stuck to his front. Who would come rescue him but Duck? Well, don't say I didn't warn you, said Duck. Smokey Joe understood this. He realized he had a lot to think about as Duck hauled him home. For the next week, Smokey Joe stayed in the shed, unknowing about what would happen. He still had a lot to think about, including how to be a really useful engine, including how to come up with an apology. Ba-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.